Okay, so as for insulating the container, I'm not really too sure what the best way to go about it is. First of all, I want to get the roof insulated, because as I've probably mentioned already, condensation can be a problem in the UK because of the high humidity. So I need to get the roof done first. What I'm thinking, if I can get some upright timber sort of wedged between that little lip at the bottom just there and the lip at the bottom just up here. What I want to avoid is putting holes in the container. I also want to avoid welding as well, although that is preferable to putting a hole in it. I mean, I could just bolt through a bracket to hold the wood on, but I want to try every other option before I start putting holes in it that are messy and not as secure to seal up again. So what I'm going to try and do is get, like I say, upright timbers and sort of hold them in with pressure between there and there. Again, I could use need-no nails or something just all the way up the length of the timber, but I'm trying to avoid any unnecessary chemicals in the air because ultimately I want to be living in here. I have a feeling I may have to resort to need-no nails, however. So what I was going to do is try and get, because I've got these pins in the way on some of them as well, so an upright there, and then either side of the pin, either side of that one as well, and then this side of that one. And then between what I'll use, I actually bought them, pick one up, one of these brackets, put that on there like that, do the same on the other side, and sort of put it across with the plywood in the middle on the top of the I'll use another piece of wood to go across first, then screw the plywood on, and then in the gap between the plywood and the ceiling put the insulation in. So I have had a go at doing this. I've cut one piece to length. Can't remember the dimensions of it. Grab a tape measure. So yeah, got it cut to length. It's in there pretty secure. I mean, I can't pull that out. I have to hammer it out if I want to get it out now. One thing that I think might be a problem is if this wood's not really dry and it's got moisture in it. I suppose when it dries out it's going to shrink. I don't know how dry it is though, so I mean, this is just a test. We'll see how it works out over time. Let's quickly get a dimension, because the insulation I'm looking at getting is 100% sheep's wool, natural insulation. I'm not too bothered about doing the walls just yet. I'll probably do it with like 75mm insulation or something, I'm not too sure. But the ceiling's going to be 150mm insulation, which is, where's that? That's there. So it'll drop the ceiling down a little bit, it's not too much of a problem. So there, this is pretty solid. But I mean, I have only just put it in, so we'll see if it warps or shrinks or anything like that. So what I might do is do another one on the opposite side, and put the bracket in and put the support across, because I figure if I put a bracket in there and in the other one and then join them together with another piece of wood, it's going to be pushing them outwards anyway, so they're not going to want to come out. I did think maybe the bottoms are then going to pop out, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so you can learn from my mistakes if this goes terribly wrong. Right, so just going to saw up the next bit, draw on the line ready to cut it across there. Takes a bit of time since I have to do it by hand with a handsaw because I don't have anything else. I really have gone into this project with no tools and no real expertise, but that's kind of part of the fun, really. I figure if I can do this, anyone can do this, and I might learn a few handy skills along the way. I'm alright with electronics, but that's not really very useful when you're trying to frame out a shipping container. But I'm happy that one's gone in, so let's have a go with the next one. Okay, so there's the original one I showed you before. I've got another one in now. Don't know if it'll be any good. I didn't have to hammer this one in. I must have cut it slightly short. It's pretty solid, but you can whack it in yourself, so it doesn't hold quite as tight. But I mean, it's still pretty solid. I think the backup plan I've decided is get some right angle brackets, and I'll just have to screw into the floor but I'm pretty sure where these screws are, there's big metal beams running across. I'm not sure how thick this is. It's probably pretty thick though. But yeah, I get some right angle brackets and just screw these to the floor. I think is the backup plan, which will probably probably work out okay. But I've got one on either side now, opposite each other. So I might just do a test of theory. I'll be using these brackets like this, and then that'll be holding this piece of wood here, which will be going across. And then once I've got that done all the way down, I guess I can screw plywood up into it, and then, like I say, sandwich the insulation. So I'll give this a go, see what happens. Right, got the brackets in on both sides. Only got it wrong once, so not too bad, considering it's the first time I've ever used a power drill / screwdriver for anything. Yeah, so that's the bit there where the plank will sit to go across. I'll put one of those in now just to see how it holds up. The more I think about it, the more I'm thinking I'm going to screw into the floor here. Even if there are only little short screws, it'll just hold them in place. You know, it doesn't have to be load bearing or anything. So the more I think about it, the more that seems like a good idea. Not so much for that one because that's pretty solid, but this one, that's not solid, even though I've wedged it. So yeah. I got the beam cut and it's just put up there balancing at the minute. I can't really decide whether to have the plywood above it, so there's two bits meeting here, sort of just on top like that, or to have it underneath, two bits meeting in the middle and screwed up. It's basically a choice of whether I want to see the beams or not. I think it might be better having them on top just because I don't know what I'd do about this bit. I guess I'd have to cut a piece out of one of the bits of plywood or something. But then I don't know whether the beams will look quite good going all the way down. They won't be evenly spaced though, so it might look a bit odd. So yeah, I think I might actually shift it up and have the plywood going underneath. Not too sure yet. But anyway, I think that's it for this video. It's starting to get late and I'm starting to run out of wood. I've only got a couple of bits left. So yeah, this is the start of me trying to frame it out ready for the insulation. Hope you enjoyed. If you got any comments, just feel free to leave them. I'd love to hear your opinions. Thank you very much. Goodbye.